Tiptoeing through the hallway on a crisp Halloween night, you make your way to your room. The coolness of the air against your skin makes you yearn for the bed through the open door at the end of the hall. The light thump of your feet against the cold floor as you make your way to the only sound to be heard. And as you reach the threshold of the bedroom, you suddenly hear a heavy creak coming from just around the corner of the door frame. The temperature drops, the air thins. You freeze as you internally scramble to come up with a reason for the noise. Your own breathing, now clearly audible as you tune to your surroundings. Your heart throbbing in your chest, every pulse coursing through your body. The cool breeze.
Oh, fuck, we almost did it! I had like 2 more sentences!
I tried so hard. I'm so sorry.
Why would you make gestures?
To the audience. He said, to the...
Hello, welcome to 3 Men in a Trench Coat. I am Joseph with my friend Chris.
To the audience,
And
when he
Gabe.
said throbbing, I made it like a very obvious jacking off.
Yes! Oh, it was supposed to be a spooky thing, and now you just made it sexual.
I'm crying.
When you started talking about like going into the door, your heart pounding, the suspense, I just turned to Gabe.
I saw you do it out of the corner of my eye, too.
I couldn't compose myself. I'm so sorry.
If you guys didn't do anything, I would have made it, and then you could have done this shit. Oh my god. Anyway.
We ruined your bit. I'm sorry.
Welcome. It's around Halloween, maybe, by the time you guys hear this, but for us, it pretty much is
tomorrow.
Halloween.
October
Halloween's
30th.
tomorrow.
It's spooky day tomorrow.
Oh, so many spooky things. Probably children dressing up as not very spooky things, like pirates. Unless you think about pirates in the way that they literally, like, I don't know.
Pirates commonly had syphilis, and that's pretty spooky.
Pirates said syphilis. Syphilitic and spooky.
Sailing the seas, murdering, raping, and plundering. That is what a pirate do.
Yes.
Pretty bad time.
They were not good people.
Gold pirates? Gold a hidden treasure?
You're perfect today. I'm very glad we got you in this awesome form, Gabe.
And then we have witches, which we dress up as, despite the fact that people were prosecuted and burned at the stake as witches, despite the fact that no, they fucking aren't, you dumb fucks. Sorry.
I want to be a witch so I can do black magic and resurrect my cat.
What?
And then we
very
have
specific.
superstitions, like black cat crossing your path, don't walk under a ladder, don't break a mirror. I wonder where those came from, and why they were so believed to give you bad luck.
Well, let's see here. A black cat crossing your path is just like, historically, that black cats are bad luck. Walking under a ladder is like walking under a forklift. It's kind of stupid. Not
And
breaking a
a
mirror.
mirror.
Mirrors are expensive, and also mirrors back in medieval times were made of silver because it was shiny. And silver is a holy metal, so breaking a mirror was unholy. Therefore, you get cursed, and then God would smite you, because we believe in a...
It all comes back to religion.
They believed in a vengeful God back then, so if you did shit to anger the Almighty, you'd just get struck by lightning.
Just be walking around, just one single lightning bolt in the center of town. Is oh, there goes Jeremy.
Just in a clear day, just...
Totally clear day, just pow, just Jeremy just blows up.
Poor Jeremy.
Getting struck by lightning does not actually explode you prior to what I thought happened.
I mean, it would hurt a lot.
Oh, it will kill you, and if it doesn't kill you, it will leave you really stupid if it goes through your brain. But it does leave you with a sick-ass scar.
Big dumb. Anyways, Joe, you're hosting this episode.
Yeah,
I am, and
You can't rely on my charisma and his brain to carry this podcast alone.
well,
so
clearly your guys' charisma is really up there with your fucking gestures during my little story there.
Generic sex gesture.
Generic sex gesture. I said throbbing once, and it was completely in a correct context, and you guys immediately thought penis.
Well,
He did.
yeah, I did.
I was already making the sucks joke.
Your choice of words, Joe. You shouldn't have.
Yeah, you're right. I should have checked my fucking
You should have
writing.
If you can't read it in front of a group of 8th graders, then you shouldn't.
Yeah, because
gotta
your
change
comedy is like 8th graders. Oh my god.
Peter's funny.
Anyway, yeah, horror, Halloween, spooky things. Let's talk about like horror movies. What's your guys' favorite horror movies? If you guys actually watch those, because I know that some people don't and don't like them, like me.
Paranormal Activity. I haven't watched many, but Paranormal Activity sticks out to me.
Do I have a favorite horror movie? I don't know.
I don't really watch horror movies.
That's fair.
I think the only one I've watched through was like Alien.
That is considered horror movie.
Yeah, that's like body horror.
It's
yeah.
spooky. It's scary.
Yeah, my favorite is probably stuff that goes more towards atmosphere and psychological horror. I can't really name any names because I just randomly sit down with my family whenever they're watching a horror movie, and I don't ask questions. I just watch. I think there was one, Invisible Man. I watched that one through. It was okay. I usually watch like the classic horror movies like Nightmare Before Christmas because I was scared of that as a kid. Now
It's
I'm
not
not.
a horror
It's
movie.
not a
Alright,
horror movie, but it's a
Nightmare
Halloween
Before
movie.
Christmas. Is that a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Have you ever watched it, Gabe?
No, I haven't.
You've never watched Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, I haven't
You
watched.
never?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Well,
We add it
next
to
time
your
we're
add it to
hosting,
the
we're
plans.
watching it.
Yeah, we're just watching through the entirety of Nightmare Before
And
Christmas.
you just get to hear it. Well, you get to hear our reaction. We aren't going to play it because of
No,
copyright.
you don't get to hear the audio.
Right.
We're just gonna have it mute with subtitles.
No, wait. Okay, parody? Parody licensing. Not licensing.
I think that falls out of parody licensing really fast.
I think
We're just going to have to read the script.
it's like how a director's commentary can be posted to YouTube, and it'll just stay up because it falls under parody laws because I think it can either be a direct parody, it can mock it, it can criticize it, or it can review it.
So we just have to review it.
Nightmare Before Christmas. You know, honestly, I have to say 8 out of 10. It was one of my favorite movies as a kid, and now I get to see all the claymation and think of, wow, how much budget went into this claymation to move their head just a tiny little bit and then take another picture.
A lot.
I never watched it as a kid. I only just watched it when I was in high school.
We don't watch horror movies, as you can tell.
Paranormal Activity I find very interesting because it was Blumhouse. And Blumhouse does a good job with taking like $5 and making millions off of it. Because when you realize the entire Paranormal Activity movie was shot in a single house. The entire movie was just shot in one house. Same 2 people. There was a third person that showed up. It was the priest. It's like, oh, I can't help you.
Just yeah,
That's
you're
it.
fucked.
Then they all they needed was some practical effects. Doors opening or closing. Footsteps on the wall.
Fishing line, basically.
Yeah, stuff that's basic. And I'm gonna look up real quick. You guys can talk about something. I'm gonna look.
I
up
believe
how
that was the
movie
same movie that used a bunch of old cameras for a mix of budget and cinematic effect to make it look like a home movie.
Yeah, that's another thing that can go really far is like the whole home movie effect, and that's how the Blair Witch the Blair Witch Project sort of got off the ground. I have mixed feelings about that because it nails atmosphere, but that's all it has.
I've heard it's really, really good in terms of atmosphere. I haven't watched it myself. I keep hearing its name thrown around this time of year, but I've never watched it, and honestly, I might get to it.
Paranormal Activity was made with $15,000 and it made $193 million.
15 grand.
15 grand, and you more than
Paramount DreamWorks acquired the U.S. rights for $350,000.
made 100 times over 100 times what they put in.
They made like I forget. They've made like 3 since Paranormal Activity. Blumhouse knows how to make some shit, man.
So says this one single movie made by Blumhouse.
Yeah,
Well,
according to that one
made
movie. But.
They've made a bunch of other stuff.
Well, anyway, since we can't really land anything on horror movies, what about horror games? That has a whole new layer of you actually interacting with all these creepy things going on. That's a personal thing to it.
All right. No FNAF.
No FNAF? Really?
No.
It nails atmosphere, but it's kind of cheesy.
Let's stray from the typical Halloween horror games, right? What is there?
I don't know.
FNAF,
I don't know
Slender.
to play.
Poppy Playtime nowadays. Roblox Doors, if you're into that.
Nowadays.
What?
I remember Slender. I'm freaking old.
Slender was...
Back in my day.
Back in my day.
I looked back at that game recently, and somebody did like a Fulbright version of it. It's barely looks like a person. It's just a T-posing guy that hunts you throughout that entire game, pretty much.
It's just Unity.
Not even Unity.
Just game.
It's just a game. And then that was like a demo for like a actually priced game to be made later, which was made later and reviewed worse than the original.
That sucks.
And the main reason was because you had to buy it, and there was a story.
Oh.
There was like a story where you're, I can't remember exactly, but you're hunting down a person, and then you come across all these paranormal people or something. Classic horror game stuff.
I think creepypasta stuff in general was very influential for horror stuff.
Yeah, it was very popular. Looking back at it, creepypastas are very cheesy.
They
All
are.
right,
a lot of the time.
let's open an avenue of thought. Do we consider SCP Halloween related? Or spooky enough?
That's more like science fiction.
That
I mean,
is-
there's spooky things in SCP, but that's not the
I
majority.
feel like
of
that's
it.
really close to creepypasta because of the
Yeah.
text and how it's 173 09 all the generic ones 106 just grabbing people, shoving them down into holes and teleporting them across the planet.
I think the main thing we're thinking of is SCP Containment Breach specifically, because that was the
is
one
a horror.
It was
that
VR.
was the horror game made of it. There was a VR port made of
Buggy.
it recently. It was very buggy. I played it with Gabe. I was personally scared of it just because I'm scared of everything. And then he just walked right past them. They didn't do anything.
I dropped all feelings of fear and simply radiated confidence, and with that, he did not even think about touching me. And the game was bugged.
Yeah, also
I walked
that.
up and slapped him on his head, and it still took about 10 seconds
Is
for,
that
him,
173?
for me to just
Yeah,
die.
173, the peanut guy.
Yeah.
I don't know
Peanut.
if anybody in our audience would know SCP, but
I'm sure it's pretty well known.
it's probably
Concrete
wrong, yeah.
feces peanut.
Yeah,
Speaking
it
of
was weird.
SCP, I remember the back rooms. That's kind of
do.
that is kind of an offshoot of it, but it leans more towards creepypasta sort of stuff with like, clip
Well, it
out of
was-
reality.
It was a creepypasta, wasn't it?
Yeah, it kind of spawned as a creepypasta, but it got closer to SCP with all these different entities you can find in the back rooms and stuff. I don't keep up with it that much,
I
but
was into the backrooms lore up until about 8 or 10 months ago when it hit the public eye, and then everything just went to shit.
Now everyone's like, ooh, I got stuck in the back.
Yeah, now
It's
it's
at
all-
3 a.m.
I blame
Yeah.
children.
It literally turned into the 3 a.m. challenges. It's awful. Ooh, in the back rooms at 3 a.m. among us sus imposter, whatever.
Thankfully-
I hate it. It was great.
Thankfully, I am away from that side of YouTube, so I never get to see any of the cringe people.
It was spooky.
Yeah.
It was spooky.
A lot of that stuff, the reason why, and that's another thing that I kind of don't like about a lot of these games, is that they're horror games. They kind of end up being made to be marketed towards children somehow.
That's where the money is.
Well, yeah, because they're all stupid.
A lot of children out there with credit cards that they don't own. They can go look at the friggin' Google Play Games page and just press buttons.
I mean, not to completely shade at Poppy Playtime, but $20 a chapter, man. When you
$20.
want to do it like that. Ugh.
Goddamn. Where'd all my money go? God damn it, Jimmy, you little rugrat. Put down my credit card before I punt you like a football.
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 I'm gonna use that same credit card to purchase a gun and then just fucking. Anyways,
Speaking of self-defense, what's really good at a home defense is it is entirely unethical, but I think if your home's being broken into, it doesn't really matter.
I mean, that's the horror of it.
Use steel birdshot. Have you ever thrown a cheese grater at someone?
Ow.
Yeah. They just turn into a fine paste at close range.
I don't think you can really hold that up in court as a defense, necessarily.
Well, the excuse is, I was going to go hunting for birds, and you
It
just
was
came in
all
here.
I had,
Yeah.
officer.
Yeah, basically. They can't really do anything to disprove it. You could have just not gone hunting.
And I've recently found out more about this home defense. This is very off topic.
Own a musket for home
spooky,
defense.
spooky. If someone breaks in your house, it's ooh, give me your money. Or
Yeah, the window shattering in the dark, and then you have to get up and deal with it.
The line of what is illegal and legal for you to do for home defense is very strange. If you shoot a person in your house, and you pee yourself, you are more likely to be believed in court that it was a defense.
Are we scared, officer?
Also, by the way, and you have to keep this in mind, if you point your gun and the person turns around and then you shoot,
that's not self-defense.
You're gonna get sued because now the person is facing away, as in in court they're gonna say, the person was running away and you shot him.
You hear that, everybody? Backwalk towards your victims so that they can. If in the event you do get shot, your family can sue them for all they got.
Thank you for
menacingly
giving criminals
moonwalk.
tips.
Menacingly.
All right, how
You've been hit by, struck by a smooth criminal. Digga, digga, digga,
So if I need to get out of court, it's just pop, pop, pop. Shit my pants.
That's it.
I fear for my life.
Because then it's like, he genuinely was scared.
Holy shit, he shit his pants.
If Your Honor would allow me, I would like to put in evidence C, the shit pants.
The shit pants.
Actually, just throws the actual pants on the
Not
table.
even in a bag or anything.
For Exhibit C, I have a bag full of doo-doo feces.
With the pants included.
If Your Honor would allow, I would like to read the transcript of the events that took place. I would like to present to you the series of events. Put up your hands, no you, shoots gun, shits pants.
I like how shit's pants is in the transcript.
Legal documentation, legal wording. He just shit his pants,
As
bro.
you can see, Your Honor, on the pants there was gunpowder residue that you can see on the pants where he shot.
Touch it. Touch.
No, Your Honor, that would be the feces that you just touched.
No, that's not the gunpowder residue. It's right next to it.
How is it outside, Your Honor? Yeah, it just shows how ferociously afraid my client was.
Just right through the
There
fabric.
was so much that it went through the stitching of the pants.
I was so scared I shit a hole through my boxers.
Corrosive.
I've done nothing but eat Taco Bell and drink Monster for 4 straight days.
That's why I shot him so quickly. I was just hyped up on so much caffeine. The first thing that I saw move, I just
Your Honor,
shot.
I'd like to claim insanity. I have 2,000 milligrams of caffeine in my body as we speak.
Crack.
You see, the real horror is the court system. Anyway.
Uh-oh. Woo!
We need to get an alarm.
I was gonna buy one this weekend, but we decided to do a spooky episode, and I didn't have time now.
We need to buy an easy button, just ring it and say, shut the fuck up. Stop talking about whatever you're talking about.
Another topic for spooky season. Stupid people in horror movies, or just horror in general. If you hear, a sound, don't go towards it, you dumbass.
Horror movie tropes.
Don't... The biggest trope for me is, the obvious, sounds of somebody, dying, and they go, are you okay?
Just, This is when it gets dragged off into the darkness. It's like, Jeremy, are you okay?
Run for your life, me, Plug walks in. What the fuck's going on here?
And the thing is, it's not, even in, the monster movies. Because the monster movies, of course you're not going to believe it's a monster that got your friend. At first.
Then you see it, you're like, ah!
Yeah.
It's scary movie. Have you watched Scary Movie Game?
No, I
God,
don't
we
watch
have to watch
movies.
Scary Movie. Scary Movie isn't actually scary.
I've heard.
It's a comedy.
trope on it.
Yeah.
And in there, it's like the main character, she was running away from the scary person. And she, like, runs into a bunch of stuff. She runs to a door, and it's like a push door. And she's pulling on it, and it won't open. So she runs, and she grabs her keys, and is fumbling with it for, like, 20 minutes as the guy's just slowly walking towards her, like, taking small steps. She's like, oh,
Mr. Like,
she's at the car, and she's like, oh, forget this, and then throws the keys and starts, like basically crawling towards away from her. And then it goes on and on and on and on and on.
the killer never gets to...
And then eventually, I forget what happens, but I'm pretty sure he just, like, lost interest.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Just for fuck's sake.
She'll kill herself before I can do it.
How are you alive if you can't, like...
Alright, in between the horror movie tropes, who is more likely to die first at the beginning of a movie? Dumb blonde chick or black guy that dresses like it's the 70s? Or not dresses like it's the 70s. Like, you know, the guy with, like, the long coat and, like, t-shirt.
Depends.
Jeans.
When was the movie made?
Late 2000s.
I don't know. I feel like that is a pretty close contender.
Because with horror movies, it's always the dumb chick, it's always the black dude that dies first. The thing is...
Porque no los dos?
Okay,
Why
let's
not
see.
Both?
Blonde chick, she's dumb, doesn't know what's going on, will just walk directly into the house. The black guy does know what's going on, he's obviously suspicious.
But unfortunately...
Who dies first?
I'm gonna say the blonde chick. Because she's like... We go to a house for like a weekend vacation. We look at the house. The lightning strikes behind the house. It's
That's
just
party!
One spooky mansion.
That's the stereotype.
And she just walks in and is like, "You guys have any like pancakes or some shit?"
Common
really leaning into the stereotype here.
common events is the black guy turns around and is like, alright, this is fucking scary, I don't like this, and he gets dragged by his ankle into the house.
And dies.
He's just dead.
They both died, but technically the girl died
Like
first.
some guy in a Scream costume with a sniper rifle just picks him off
Pow.
first.
That reminds me of Monster House.
Everyone's like, "Oh, we better get inside. The rain is coming down pretty hard."
Protection.
Just a bullet hole in his skull.
Dang, must have been some weird hail. Especially because it's July.
Oh god. Some of these horror movies some of the tropes that they do just to get the movie like going. It's so specific.
Oh god, yes.
We just moved into a new house that looks like it's actually crumbling at the seams.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fixer-upper.
The stairs are broken.
The realtor's like, "I'm obliged to tell you that 16 children died in the basement of this facility."
Oh, it's fine.
I am obliged to tell you that we did a... Oh god, what's the term? We did a quick sweep of the house and there's shit floating in there.
We are obliged to tell you that you do not have, like... Oh god, I had a bit, but it's gone
We
now.
found blood in the sink, in the bathtub. There's actually large amounts of pieces of organs stuck in the pipes. There's a large spider in the basement. There's like the size of a person.
There's like a crucified effigy in the basement.
There's a burning man in the basement.
There's like one of those pentagrams in the attic that's
and
actually still
the
on
previous
fire.
tenant was in a cult.
We are legally obliged to tell you you are probably going to die. Please sign here, here, and here.
But it is in an ongoing what's the term? Developing area.
Yeah.
You'll be close to malls in 30 years.
In 30 years when you're dead.
When you're dead and also dead.
So as you can tell, it's perfect for a new homeowner.
Especially with children.
I really... There's another trope. There's always, like, the reasonable person in there, too.
We should do this, guys.
They're like, hey, guys, maybe we shouldn't go in the obviously haunted mansion that, like, could actually crumble on us at any moment.
Shut the fuck up, John. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
I'm sorry, guys. Like, honestly, if I were that person that, like, tried to be reasonable and all my friends were just like, no, you stupid, this is gonna be fun. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna, like, have the police on speed dial. Y'all have fun.
Like
I'm going to go get a drink.
We're like fucking cavemen. Alright, guys, I don't think this is safe.
No, you stupid. Me
No,
walk in.
Stupid. We walk in. That's exactly how it is. Speaking of caveman and caveman brain,
Okay.
Let's
Utterly
go with
spooky.
emotions and how fear makes you make really stupid choices in real life too.
Fight or flight.
Fight or flight's a bitch because there's always that little voice at the back of your head that's really quiet until something gets scary, and then it's like, move, run,
Move, fight, punch him in the dick.
live.
Just live. Do what you have to do.
It's like doing CPR on your brain.
God damn it, quit being indecisive, just do something.
Do something, anything, shit's pants. I'm just as bad at comedy.
Bunch of fucking 8th graders just laughing at poop jokes.
Shit person.
He shit his pants.
But yeah, psychology of horror is very interesting.
It's interesting.
It is. It's weird, funky, and strange.
Scratches that good old itch at the back of your ape brain.
Especially because a lot of the horror isn't the fact that there's a guy running at you. It's the fact that there's might be a guy in your house right now.
There's tension in the
Pay
air.
no attention to the creaks coming from your next door.
Some neighbors. That guy's getting fucked. You're fine.
Yeah, don't even worry. Don't even call the police, man.
It's fine. It's fine.
Turn off all the lights, lock the doors, and get a gun.
Speaking of guns,
Make
I
sure
would
to
like to
shoot
go
your
on a gun
pants.
rant again. But that's not exactly Halloween centered.
Well, I do have a spooky gun interest that you might find interesting. What is the most expensive gun in the world, Gabe?
Oh fuck. Alright. Let's see. Handgun or
It's an artifact.
artifact? What the hell? Hold on. Oh god, now I gotta think.
I don't expect you to get this right because it's very
Green
specific.
power.
Oh fuck.
Green storm.
Is it a rifle or a handgun?
It's a revolver.
Oh fuck. Was it owned by a king of England?
No.
Is it far enough to be owned by a king of Saxony?
It was owned by a painter.
What?
It looks like a rusted mess.
It is really old.
What the hell?
Or it's not really old. It's
owned
just
by a
very poorly
painter?
put together. It was owned by a painter.
I think, oh, I don't know. Most expensive.
It is the most expensive gun artifact in the world.
Gun, is it a complete gun?
Yes. Well, the handle's kind of missing.
Owned by a... What?
It's got a frame. The handle has a frame.
It's extremely rusted to the point of looking like it's carved out of rock.
I can't show you a picture because it gives it away. Because
Alright.
there's a thing behind it.
Are we talking late, like, 15th, 16th century, like, cutting edge, or are we talking mid-18th century, where it'd just be engraved?
It looks old.
That gives me nothing. I don't fucking know.
Do you yield?
Would it be one of the wheel lock revolvers owned by... Not wheel lock revolver. Would it be a wheel lock
It is
pistol?
famous for a specific reason. For what it did to the painter.
Oh!
Wait, what do you mean he killed
Vincent van Gogh killed
Oh
himself.
my god, how did I not get that?
I see.
know Van
Killed
Gogh.
himself with this revolver. This revolver's priced at like $4 million.
I was about to say, I didn't know that was like an artifact.
Yeah. Huh, I never would have thought. So Vincent van Gogh, that's like the...
Truly his last piece.
Was Vincent van Gogh like the late 19th century? Or late 20th century?
I can look this up.
I feel like...
I don't think he was that old.
No, I think he was pretty old, like late 19th, early 20th century, and then Picasso was like mid to late.
The real horror about artists is that half of them that we know today weren't popular during their time when they were alive.
Yeah, it tends to happen.
Even, especially Van Gogh.
Yeah, all of Van Gogh's shit is cool now, but back then he was selling paintings for like bread slices.
Yeah, nobody wanted them because it was all like all these realistic paintings as opposed to a style.
Oh, I was incorrect. He shot himself in 1870, but it went up for auction $182,000. So it wasn't $4 million. So where did I get that number from? Oh wait, no. The record for a single firearm sold at auction is $1.8 million. So is this not it? Was I lied to? Did the internet lie to me?
Whoa.
Oh, did the internet lie to me? That's a new one.
A rare Colt revolver was sold this past Friday by Rock Island Auction Company for $1.84 million.
Was it like a first model Patterson?
Rare Colt model 1847 Walker.
Okay. So what was
less
the
than
average?
100 were ever produced for the civilian market.
Yeah, I'll do it.
So where did I get that number from? I'm not going to figure this out right now. But I was told that this is a very expensive thing. Well, yeah, there it is. Closer.
What in the goddamn... Oh my fucking god, it's a 7mm pinfire! What?
Those are words.
Ew!
He shot himself with this.
Ew! Pinfire's nasty. Pinfire makes me sad.
It clearly kills a man.
Do you have a whiteboard?
No. And we're not breaking out MS Paint right now.
I can explain pinfire. So, you know how modern like cartridge works, where it has like the primer in the middle or around the end, and then you have gunpowder and a bullet, right? Pinfire, what that does is it houses the primer inside of a tube, which the hammer slaps down into the cartridge, and then that detonates. And it's really stupid and finicky. If you hold it in your pocket and you fall, you'll just explode.
I was incorrect. George Washington's saddle pistol sold for $1.986 million. That is the most expensive.
Is that the era of the flintlock or the wheel lock? That is the era of the flintlock.
That
Maybe
is-
it's a dog lock.
That is the most expensive
Or maybe...
gun sold on the market.
Or maybe it's snap lock or snap haunch.
Saddle pistol.
I've done a lot of research into old firearms.
I know.
I want to get like a flintlock planes. We have gone so far off the topic. This is supposed to be spooky.
I was just gonna wheel us.
All right, quick back on topic. What's your favorite Halloween candy, guys?
Favorite Halloween candy?
Mine's
All right.
Reese's.
All right, so
Anything. Reese's, anything.
no, so we're not going into the generic stuff like candy corn.
I mean, candy corn. I personally enjoy candy corn. Let's just leave it at that. Do you or do you not enjoy candy corn? Yes or no?
I can eat like 5 candy corns, and then after that, it's like,
That's-
ugh.
I've too much sugar starts making it taste bad.
It makes my teeth hurt.
On Halloween, I will eat an unbelievable amount of candy corn and then never again.
Yeah, you once a year. It's a once a year
I always
thing.
push it, and then I feel like garbage afterwards.
Yeah, well, that's the fun of it, Chris.
Okay,
No,
why
it's
does
not
like,
fun.
Why does like the autumn mix with like the pumpkins and the chocolate candy corn taste way different?
It's because they're like bigger pieces with like the little pumpkin bits.
Mmm.
And
And they're
made out of
probably made
pumpkin.
differently, and they're probably not stale by the time you get them.
Look, man, that stuff never goes bad.
Candy
Can't.
corn is specifically made not to
It doesn't go bad, but it does have a certain quality when it's left out for too long.
Regular civilian candy corn has the same length
Civilian?
of product or the same length of good
Are they making?
as you would like an MRE.
Are they making military grade candy corn?
I fucking hope not.
Great candy corn.
All right, that's a good quote to come out of this. Military grade candy corn. Also, I hope not, because I don't want all of our soldiers to be violently shitting themselves on November 1st.
No, that's what you give to the enemy.
You just
It's like you just do a little trick or treat thing.
trick or treat,
That's what I was about to say. Trick or treat, trick.
poke a gun up through the friggin' pumpkin, not satchel, like the bucket.
Bang.
The question is, who's shooting who? The trick or treater or the candy?
What's
giver?
your costume? I'm a U.S. soldier. Put your hands up, dumbass.
They just trade uniforms for Halloween. And they just make the worst impressions of each other when they're going to
German. Oh my God.
Oh mein Gott. Instant death.
Oh, it would be pretty spooky if Joe died live on audio.
Ooh, I'm a ghost now, I've died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just candy in general. I remember going trick-or-treating and then being extremely angry when I got pretzels instead of
Pretzels are
literally
That was the
anything.
best part.
Pretzels are
Those
amazing.
are good, but like I wanted like
Smoker's God.
I wanted cigarettes.
I wanted like
Trick or
shit
treat,
like
give me
those-
Marlboro Reds.
Hey, trick or treat.
Oh no, he gave me camels.
I'll take a cigar and a beer, please. I'm gonna need it for the next couple houses.
We gotta go TP their house, Grandpa. No, let's just burn it down.
No, I got some rotten eggs right here, baby.
I didn't know I could do this voice.
That's good.
Grandpa, no.
No, now I forgot what I was gonna say. Shit, I had a joke lined up for this exact scenario.
What do you mean?
Shut up!
I distract you. Okay, I'm done.
Just lights up a cigarette right on the front porch as they're coming to answer.
Just sitting there blowing smoke at trick-or-treaters. Get off my porch!
Just, oh, hi, Earl. What did you dress up as this year? None of your fucking business. Give me the full-size candy boss.
What noise from Brooklyn?
I picture this guy being like 2 feet tall.
Yes! Exactly. It's like 2 foot. The size of a small child.
I remember now. So back to when Halloween Army, there's a bunch of Americans in Russian uniforms going like, haha, vodka bears, fucking Putin, my government sucks. And there's a bunch of Russians with American uniforms going, I work 15 hours in hamburger mine to buy 1 rock and roll disc.
I work 15 hours in hamburger mine.
To buy 1 rock and roll disc.
Oh my god. That's a new one.
It's stolen. Don't pride me for it. I thought it was really funny. I thought I'd reiterate.
It was hilarious.
Just doing really terrible impressions of each other.
I think every country should do that for their designated Halloween, is dress up as another country and make fun of them.
Well, I'm sure NATO people do that just on the fly with it.
We do.
They do it anyways. It doesn't have to be
We insult
Halloween.
other countries any time of the day. British.
We have to go with the stereotypical British.
British. What about
Bunch of
Tuesday, isn't it?
Tuesday, ain't it?
I'm actually dying.
He's gonna die.
Hey guys, don't worry, it's on theme.
It's on theme with the whole death thing.
Because it's on theme and because it isn't video recorded, we can post this on YouTube and not get strike.
YouTube's rules are dumb.
That's the real spooky part.
Wee.
Well, that's not politics.
It's not politics,
It's
but
unanimously
like
decided that YouTube sucks.
the algorithm, Christopher.
But yeah, that's pretty bad.
Oh, you guys
I
can't
despise
see
it.
this. I thoroughly enjoy the fact that the skull on the front of that tank has a big old smiley, happy face.
He's looking at my desktop backgrounds and he's looking at one of the First World War German tanks. He's looking at the what is that called? The skull and crossbones.
Yeah, it's instead of being like a skull, he's just got a big dumb grin.
Alright, I got a great follow-up question to what's your favorite candy? Well, we're all kind of becoming adults in this day and age. What kind of candy are you all gonna give out?
Entire rotisserie chicken.
The entire rotisserie chicken.
I'm gonna go to
How
Aldi's.
expensive is that
I'm
gonna
gonna
be?
go to
They're like
Aldi's.
$5
They're
a
like
pop,
$5. I'm gonna go to Aldi's or whatever. I can't remember which place has them
Sam's
for really
Club.
cheap. Sam's
Sam's
Club.
Club
I'll
has
go to
them.
Sam's Club. I'll buy like 16 rotisserie chickens, and when some kid comes to my door, just bang, bang, bang. Here, have a chicken.
Right in the
You want a
pillowcase
chicken?
pail, whatever.
Yes, right in the pillowcase. Just stick my hand out with a bag of rotisserie chicken. Just plop.
No, don't even like give them like the canister. Just drop the
Just drop the
drop the
chicken.
juicy ass
Just-
fucking greasy chicken right in their pail. They will never come to your house ever again.
No, then I get repeat customers, because then people will come back with nothing but like chicken bones. You just, hey, you got more rotisserie chicken?
You got more rotisserie.
Teenagers.
I'm gonna hand out nothing but candy corn and not in like the little bags of candy corn. I'm just gonna dump like, candy corn in their bag.
Just keep like it's overfilling. Just
And
keep
for like
going.
normal people, I'll just have like a chip pack that you can buy at Sam's Club or Aldi or something.
Normal people. You're doing this to all the toddlers that are carrying around a pillow sack. Here, have 6 pounds. Have your body weight. It's nothing but
And
candy
for people
corn.
who have like their frontal cortex a little bit more developed and are gonna be like, hey, what the fuck? I'm just gonna give them a bag of chips.
No, a bunch of the toddlers gonna stare at the waterfall of candy corn and nothing but pure amazement and wonder.
Well, because for kids, it's count, not volume. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
They'll be like,
Just like spilling over the sides of the parents are like, no, it's full. It's full. It's full.
Stop!
Stop.
Stop it!
it's more candy corn.
Here, you got pockets. You got room for more candy corn.
They just like take off their little witch hat.
Yes, please.
More
I've got candy corn for years.
To add on to Gabe's idea.
Just behind me is like up to the ceiling on the wall, bags of candy
Door
corn.
opens with the parents like, well, that's pretty strange. But then you just start.
Well, that's pretty strange, but yeah, he's gonna give you candy corn.
You begin the process. I just picture you like pulling out like a 5-gallon bucket, just dunking it on the kid.
Just not even like politely pouring it in their bag, just
Whoop.
as if I was dousing a fire.
Just knocks him over off the doorstep.
Just fly like 5 feet. The parents are like, oh my god.
Don't worry, his fall was cushioned by the candy corn of the others.
There's like candy corn in his skin, in the child's skin. Sharp candy corn.
To add on to Gabe's idea, what I would like to do is like if I have like a pet door at the bottom of the door, I just like say like put something outside that's a sticker that points down towards it, knock, and what you do is you just like
You have like a chute that goes through.
no, you just grab a handful of chicken and just right through the door without ever looking them in the eye. And
Okay, to make it a bit less weird, I just like a chicken wing, or like a chicken leg. Just here you go, buddy.
but it's gotta be like one of those like chicken drums from like
Gotta keep that
Renaissance
protein up, little bro.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those big ass like
It's gotta be
turkey
one of
legs
the
from
big ass.
Renfest.
It's just
Oh my god.
Here we go.
Dinosaur turkey leg.
You gotta go find like the thing is to make it even better. You gotta go find like the biggest, hairiest lumberjack dude. Just do it. So he's just holding it. And it's just like
they take it and the guy's just like thumbs up.
Oh my god. So, crazier idea, right? You get some chicken noodle soup in a thermos.
like if they don't take the chicken leg, they like you'll pull it back in. It comes back out. There's like a bite taken out
You
of
know
it.
the mailbox slits that you have? So you knock on the door, trick or treat, and you just say, put it underneath the mail chute.
It's
And
just chicken
soup.
noodles. Even worse if it's like tomato soup.
It's just soup.
It's just tomato soup and then just shoves 2 slices of grilled cheese through the slot. We're terrible people.
It's so funny, though. Because all their candy's now just covered in soup.
More on that line. How about, instead of giving candy to children, scaring the absolute devil out
Trick or
of them?
treat. You're gonna trick.
Just a pop gun directly in their face.
Flashback.
Well, tonight has never hurt anybody. Just like, trick or treat, Trick shoves a flashbang through the mail slot.
Here you go, buddy.
And then you have to sit there. You just look through like little people on the door, because of course you have one of those if you live in a place where trick or treaters come to your house. And you just see the kid staring down into his bag.
And then you just hear,
Boom! Just
Trick or treat. Trick. It's a live grenade.
figure it out.
Martyrdom, drop a live grenade when burned. Just have a fucking... You only have it for, like, the trick-or-treaters that are, like, real assholes, right? They come up to your house every year, they just, like, insult you for some shit. Just give us some candy, old man. And then you just one year just say, like, yeah, you got some candy for us? Trick.
Like
Tink.
not like the assholes, like the trick-or-treaters that are like 18 and 19. Like, they're freaking old.
No, you save it for the people that go around twice.
Oh, no,
in
that's
different
fine.
costumes.
That's fine. They're creative. They have like a bunch, or like the really lazy people that are just like wearing a pillowcase. They're like, God damn it, get out of here.
Ghost!
Oh, a ghost!
You're about to be a ghost.
I really want. Oh no! This makes you want to get a bunch of rotisserie chickens and like 2 live grenade props.
You live in the area of trick-or-treating. You can do this. Yeah, it's just... trick or treat. So you just roll a dice in front of them. If it lands on something like high, you just open the door further. And it's just a cannon at the end of the hallway.
That sounds like some D&D
You have to like
bullshit.
be blocking it with like your body first. You step out of the way, and it's just like a 20 minute, just a cannon.
It's just a cannon. A person behind it like lights the fuse.
Like there's some guy standing on like the platform of the stairs, just grinning with like the fucking pull like the ripcord, staring directly at you. Just
And just a bunch of smoke. Because the kids won't understand.
trick or treat, trick, grape shot.
Jesus, no. That's the real horror. The real horror was grape shot.
The person has to be short and dressed as a goblin, so it's like, my minion. Fire the cannon.
Smeagol,
Fire the cannons!
Smeagol, fire the cannon.
Yes, master. Just fucking poof. Even better, we combine ideas, right? So we put candy corn in the cannon.
God damn it! You can't keep liquefying the trick.
Please show up. Alright, we know this is a common occurrence, but you gotta stop killing people with candy corn.
You want some fucking candy corn? I got so much candy corn.
Activate candy corn flechettes.
Oh my god.
The neighbors are getting more people over there, but we better
Just
start firing artillery
You just have
shells.
a pumpkin, like, just above the door, where, like, if a trick-or-treater is, like, an 18-year-old, you just press a button.
In cartoons, it would splash open and be like, oh, funny, but in real life, it'd hit them and give them a concussion.
No, you gotta
No, you just make sure it's rotten first.
ew. Like a rotten watermelon.
So
it's all,
that,
like, squishy.
no, it's rotten so that it just cracks on the bottom and stops at their shoulder.
No, you just have to cut a hole in it.
I mean, you could do that, but then you'd be betting on if their head was small enough.
Just buy a really big pumpkin. Just cut a hole in it.
More concussions.
And don't gut it.
Yeah.
So it's just like dripping down their head. Ah!
And then throw up in the pumpkin, which makes it much worse.
You said trick or treat. You said trick or treat.
I said trick. I said trick. You learned, didn't you? Don't come to my house again. You
Next
little...
time you'll just say treat.
Can I have the full-size candy bars, please? It's like bandages, and it's just like, oh yeah, okay.
People behind them are just frantically like, treat.
The best part is whether you like go full chaotic and go no exception, so the little 2-year-old on your front porch just gets fucking pumpkin.
Whole body.
It's
is
an
like,
equally small. It's just a big ass pumpkin, so it just covers him like a turtle shell.
you scoop up the pumpkin and run away. Parents are like, what?
No!
How do you think I make all this candy?
Hansel and Gretel moment.
Hansel and Gretel. Was that scary or was that just?
That's just a folk tale.
By the time I
Oh
was
yeah, folktales. That was a thing that I was supposed to go over. I don't know any though.
The fucking the Mothman. The Wendigo.
He's interesting.
Like folktales, like werewolves, vampires, Hansel and Gretel.
Michigan's got the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Ooh.
Ooh, spooky.
That one is rather unfortunate. Have they not found it still? I thought they found it.
I don't think they found it. I think it's just fucking gone.
No, it might be a different one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, the Edmund was the one that sank in, I don't know, around this time.
Sunk. It's believed to have sunk.
It's sunk. Where else would it have gone?
Well,
It's
it
not a
could
submarine.
It could have like drifted for a while, and then it could have beached or sunk. Then
It was like an oil liner. It was huge.
it was a freighter, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was it was in the middle of a storm. That was the worst storm that we had because it's Superior.
Yay.
That was the worst storm that we saw in a while. That's why it sunk.
And that's why we haven't found it yet. It's just fucking gone. It's somewhere.
They made those to be able to flex, like the superstructure, because they didn't make them flex before, and they would go on waves, and the whole thing would just split in half.
Yeah. It's
So
not good.
they made them flex, but that storm was so bad that even flexing couldn't fix anything.
It was rough.
They lost radio contact for like a day or two straight, and and it hasn't been found. So, Lake Superior's pretty deep.
Reminds me of the Bermuda Triangle stuff.
Yeah.
The Bermuda Triangle's fine. The closest thing you've got is probably Lake Superior. Shit just disappears sometimes.
Ooh.
And it's cold.
You lost an entire freight ship.
Where the hell did it go?
It's not easy to lose those.
It's pretty damn
Because-
hard.
Especially when it goes underwater. You know how much stuff floats and then it'll just spread across the Great Lakes? You'd think you'd find stuff afterward.
No.
You see, the
We didn't
Bermuda
even
Triangle
find-
sends everything to the Lake Superior. and
floats
vice
through
versa.
Just a wormhole.
because it does connect. The lakes do connect to the Atlantic Ocean, but they would have to go through locks and Erie.
The currents are
river.
just right. The currents are just right. Temperature's just right for those currents.
Actually, no, I don't think. I don't think the current is right because I
Yeah.
think it empties into the Atlantic.
There's
Sure.
one
It
man whose
floats
faithful
upstream.
job.
Yeah.
That's truly spooky. It floats upstream.
There's just one guy whose faithful job is to,
Water
go
flowing
get shit from the Bermuda Triangle, bring it up here.
All right, your spookified job. Everything's got to be spooky. Every adjective has to be spooky in this episode.
Would either of you ever work in a graveyard?
Yes.
Night shift.
Will you-
Yeah.
Night shift graveyard.
What's gonna happen? Ghosts, zombies, okay, and
What would you do at a graveyard?
Please
How would
kinda-
you work it?
Clean around, make sure that
I just don't
people
wanna-
vandalize shit.
security guards. Gotta be there to protect fucking
Security.
I don't know.
Gabe, they don't
You have
hire
to remember,
security
people are
for that.
assholes. They'll just like
Yeah, keep people
Yeah,
up.
but that happens in general. No one's gonna go. It isn't like grave robbing is that big of a thing anymore. It still is a thing,
they'll still
but not in
vandalize.
random. You know how common it is to find a graveyard? Like they're pretty common things.
I wanna go find a graveyard and go grave robbing. I wanna see what they've got.
No,
Nothing. They got bones.
they don't. Especially nowadays, they don't bury people with items.
That
anymore.
was like
Yeah, so
that was
that's
like
why I
a
want to find a
Viking
grave
thing.
from like 1850 and see what he was buried with.
You're gonna go to Egypt and you're gonna go there and you're gonna grave rob and then realize that 70 people before you have done this.
No, I'm talking about going like locally.
Go to the great
Gonna
Great
walk over.
Pyramids of Egypt and realize that there's nothing there anymore. People have already looted it.
Yeah, people have been looting it for like 800 years. It's no surprise.
Mm.
I'm looking forward to when they start finding new areas of the ancient Egypt.
Probably gonna
Like all the
be.
old tombs and all that, because there are dozens of things that are under the sand still.
New
Egypt
shit?
treated their dead well, man.
Yeah, gave him bread.
They
Excuse
also
me,
they
that was
also
pretty
thought
spooky.
they also
Shut up.
thought that like the heart was the place where everything worked, so they just like when your brain drained out your nose.
Just kind of turned into mashed potatoes.
That's what they did. They stuck a stick up there, wiggled it around a little bit, and let it all come out as mush from your nose.
Yeah, they just stuck a hand mixer up there.
Drains out.
It was a pretty good hand mixer sound.
I don't know. That's pretty spooky.
You start hearing some banging when you're using the hand mixer, and like, oh, that's why he died.
Ooh, there's the rock.
Unga.
Unga bunga. Oh my god.
Gabe, I think you would be a wonderful archaeologist.
Yes, it would be great.
I think you would love it.
I would love to.
I would love to be an archaeologist.
I would go grave robbing for fun.
Well, it's not. That's not. That's not
All
what
right, where's
archaeologists
the
do.
line drawn between grave robbery and archaeology?
One
If
is
you're
supported
funded
by
to do it.
the government.
Is it?
Yeah, archaeology is funded by governments.
Oh, I thought it was like an independent venture, but
Well, I
it's
mean,
like
I guess
art.
it can be,
You
but-
need to have like
Permission.
You can't just go to the pyramids and be like, no, we're funded.
Oh,
You have to get rights from the government because it's a park.
The difference between grave robbing and archaeology is that you both pay and ask for permission to grave rob.
Oh,
so the difference is consent and money.
Yes. Consent is
That
important in
reminds
this
me-
world, guys.
I recently relearned about what was the guy's name? Heinrich Schliemann.
Ah!
Oh my god, this story. We've gotten way off track, but Let's call it horror for the sake of what Heinrich Schliemann did.
Gabe is looking into the corner of the room and
Would
refuses
you
make
like
eye
to
contact.
explain
I'll let you
Heinrich
explain the
Schliemann?
story because it's fucking.
Don't peek your mic, please.
He's already done it. It's too late.
Heinrich Schliemann committed the gravest sin in terms of archaeology. He was a mid-18th century Austrian. He was just a rich guy. He was was like a diplomat or something. He had a lot of money, and he was interested in ancient battles, mainly Greek and Roman. So, he was interested in stuff like that since he was very young. He got a lot of money, so he decided to go investigate the dreams of his youth. So he went to Greece, it's in Turkey. Macedonia sounds wrong.
I don't remember where Troy is.
I think it's in modern-day Turkey. So, Heinrich Schliemann, with his stupid, ugly-ass wife, goes to Troy. No, wait. I should preface this. This is in the late 19th, early 20th century? Or mid-18th century? So they don't know. They think the Battle of Troy is still mythical at this point. It does not exist. It was just written by Homer in the Iliad, and that's where it started and where it ended. Heinrich Schliemann goes to the supposed site of the Battle of Troy, and in an effort to uncover the remains, he does not use brushes. Okay, modern-day Turkey. He does not use brushes and needles and hand power. He contracts a team of miners to use dynamite to excavate the ruins of a battle that was once considered mythical and only recently discovered to actually exist. One of the most important battles in Greco-Roman history, destroyed by some Austrian.
With dynamite.
Yeah, he kind of blew up a good portion of it.
He blew up a good portion.
He blew up the coolest battle in both history and mythology.
Mm-hmm. That's the place where Achilles was killed. That's the place where Homer wrote the Odyssey.
Body might be.
It was, all the stuff, and it's go on.
The funny, horse that they push into Troy.
Yeah,
the totally not a fake gift, guys.
Yeah.
Talking about Heinrich Schliemann makes me very angry.
Blood boil.
Visceral.
He was just some daft Austrian aristocrat who blew up Troy because he liked it as a kid. And with this information, he did find the remains of Troy, even if destructively, so he did make some progress.
He found the foundations of it, because everything above it was gone.
Everything above it was destroyed by nitroglycerin, but besides that, he did find the remains of the Battle of Troy, and there was stuff left after his friggin' tirade.
Do you think there have been efforts to try to piece back together his destructiveness?
He did not get permission, or consent, or funding from the government of modern-day Turkey.
He just did it.
He just did it because he was told multiple times, if you do this shit, we're gonna kick you out of Turkey, understand? And he's like, how about I do anyway?
And then he got kicked out of Turkey.
He didn't. They said he was gonna get kicked out of Turkey, and then he didn't get kicked out of Turkey
because he found Troy.
Because he found Troy. When they're like, oh, cool, but you blew half of it up.
Fucking Heinrich Schliemann.
Heinrich Schliemann. He took his wife to Troy.
The horrors of the archaeology
finding
world.
The ancient jewelry and clothing found at the site of Troy, instead of giving it to a historical society or museum, he let his wife wear it.
The jewelry of Helen of Troy?
Not the Helen of Troy. That's old. That's before. I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor. He let his wife wear some of the ancient jewelry that was found at the Battle of Troy. He just took stuff for himself instead of giving it to a historical society.
Museum.
He was just wearing it and using it and not preserving it.
Yeah.
He was just finding shit and throwing it away if he deemed it useless and keeping it if he deemed it useful.
Or pretty or whatever.
Or whatever.
It was a fun time.
And then after that, he didn't pay the miners for their dynamite. Or their work. Or their anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like the work you guys did. I mean, look, you destroyed half the fucking site.
Look at what you guys did.
You guys blew up half of fucking Troy. And he just
Troy.
jumps on a boat. You guys blew up half of fucking...
He's on his way out to avoid being shot by a lot of very angry Turks.
Didn't get paid.
Didn't get
And
paid.
this is probably why Turks are not too happy to let other people excavate. Because
The last time they did it,
Last time they let other people excavate
human
their shit.
civilization in general, the bare grounds of human civilization, the foundations of why we settled in housing and built settlements, that's all found in the Middle East area, including Turkey.
Turkey,
But we can't
Iran,
get into
Iran,
Turkey.
Afghanistan, the
Because the
cradle of
Turkish-
civilization.
The Turkish government's like, no, we don't want you here, even though we're trying...
the
fucking
last time
excavate.
we let some dumbass in here, he destroyed half of Troy.
Heinrich Schliemann fucked up. Now we can't have nice things.
Thanks, Heinrich Schliemann.
Makes me angry.
Dual bird for Heinrich Schliemann over here. Oh boy.
That's an hour. I spent most of it ranting about the horrors and beguilement of
There's
Heinrich
some-
Schliemann.
There are some terrible shit that people did. The horrific events of Heinrich Schliemann.
Read the Wikipedia page. I'm using my faulty human memory.
Some weird horror stuff that we don't understand because we don't watch horror. Spooky stuff. I almost died live on stream.
Spooker
I
Booker.
almost died on today's podcast. And the real horror is that I never got to finish my little story that I spent like a couple days writing.
The real horror is that I can't go back in time and fucking rip Heinrich Schliemann's fingers off.
Anyway, thank you for watching Three Men in a Trench Coat. I have been Joseph with my friends Chris and Gabe here today, and try to ignore the knocking at your door. Good night.
It's Heinrich Schliemann. He's back for your everything.